We'll call the regular meeting of the Ascension Parish Council, Thursday, May 21st, to order, please. Tonight our invocation will be led by the area KCs. First is Vincent Alvarez, District Deputy, District 24. Mr. Dale Savoy, Grand Knight of 8147 St. Mark. Corey Moran, Grand Knight 6389 Sanamo. And Tommy Ruemaker, Grand Knight 8342 St. John. You'll come forward, please.
In memory of Robbie Savoy, who recently drowned, to let us all join in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Tonight our pledge will be led by CEO Ms. Sherry Despina of the Ascension Parish Chamber of Commerce.
And on this Memorial Day weekend, may these words mean a little bit more to us. Please recite with me in unison the Pledge of Allegiance to the greatest country in the world. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Sherry. Roll call, Ms. Suzanne, all present. We have no chair additions. Public comment period. Anyone wish to speak on any item on the agenda, sign in Ms. Suzanne. You'll be allotted 3 minutes. Before I get to my presentation portion of the, I have a few announcements to make. I have a couple of wedding anniversaries I'd like to announce. One being our own Sherry Kinchin. Today's her wedding anniversary, her and her husband. And our legal counsel, Mr. Jeff Diaz. Congratulations to y'all. Now it's time for the Old Time Awards. I have Councilman Kent Shakespeare. Today's his birthday. He's 39 years old. Moving on to our presentations. Before we get, is Brandon here? Brandon with GIS?
Brandon O'Day.
Brandon O'Day. Okay, Brandon's not here tonight. I was going to recognize our new parish website, and if anyone hasn't seen it, you need to go to it. It's fantastic. P.J. Peterson, the entire crew, through Brandon's direction, have put us in the top of the state as far as websites. I mean, it's fantastic, and we certainly appreciate them and being a member of our team. Thank you all. Getting into our presentation, we have Teachers of the Year. President Martinez.
First of all, I want to thank the Knights. They do this for teachers every year. They do it for firemen and law officers. So, again, I'd like everyone to give them a big round of applause for doing this. I'm kind of more to teachers because we married them for the past 33 years. It's been a while, but I like Mr. Dale Savoy. It's nice to work for him. And the First Lady here tonight is Miss Renee Lindsay from Galvin, and I've been knowing Renee for quite a number of years. People with my wife at Galvin Mill, and we talked about doing her bio, about maybe becoming a month. So, the husband told me that he was glad she did. And to her that she would have made a heck of a number. And just that quality of a person. So Renee, recognize you Congratulations. Keep up the good work. For public service for the future years. Renee, thank you.
And just thank y'all very much. And it's just working in such a wonderful parish with such great administration and leadership that allows us to do our job so well and to teach the children that we love. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Fizzle, District Catholic High School, teacher 6th grade, language, arts, and history, parochial middle school teacher of the year, 2009. And I know that there's a lot of he's received many awards, including Citizen of the Year, and Donaldsonville last year. Again, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'd also like to thank the Knights for many of your presentations, which you do. This is wonderful every year, and I thank the council as well for this wonderful one. Thank you.
Tabitha Booth Ellsworth, Westtown High School, 11th grade chemistry, public high school teacher of the year, 2008-2009.
I know I'm truly blessed to be in Ascension Parish. I grew up here, and I'm so thankful to be able to, continue my life here and to contribute to it.
Adrian, Adam, please, William.
Yeah.
And Adrian. That's correct. Third grade math, public primary school, teacher of the year, 2008, 2009. Congratulations.
Thank you for this award. It's my privilege to serve the children in the Ascension Parish.
Lisa Babbitt. She was from St. John, Parish Primary School, kindergarten. Parochial Primary School teacher in the year 2008, 2009. Congratulations. He was a parochial high school teacher in the year, Central Catholic. Probably was the still teacher. I want to congratulate the two teachers also for an outstanding job for their recognition. Again, I want to thank the Knights for everything that you do for the community. We certainly appreciate it. And on behalf of myself and the council, wish you all the best. Continue doing it.
Mr. Savoy? Mr. Savoy, would you like to announce the other two? Did we have some nights come in late?
Right. Mr. Larry.
Mr. Larry Boudreau, Grand Night 2657 St. Teresa. Okay. All right. Thank y'all very much.
I'd just like to say, as far as St. John Knights of Columbus, and I'm sure with the others too, if they would like to speak, it's been an honor and real proud to serve the firemen, the law enforcement, and the teachers of Ascension Parish. And we will keep on doing it because we're proud of them. Thank you.
We certainly thank you all, sir. Thank you.
On behalf of Father Claymore's council, I'd like to thank y'all for what y'all do. I am a fireman, and also my wife is a teacher. So I know the importance of people who contribute to the parish, and I think it's an awesome thing that all of these groups that we support and that y'all support also contribute to the parish. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And I'd like to say that the 4 major councils, we have a new council also in our district, split the cost for all 3 of the main functions, the banquets that we have. So it's a group effort, and it's not just the KCs, it's also the ladies auxiliary, and they do most of the work. So we take the credit, they get.
There you go. One big team. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next item I have will be the state 4-H competition winners, President Martinez.
We gotta pass on that, they're gonna come in
Pass
July.
on that, okay. We will also pass on item C, Santa Monica High School civic class. I will say, last week I had a opportunity to go to talk to the 9th grade at Santa Monica High School with CAO Cedric Grant, President Martinez, and it was a good time. It gave me a good feeling. The young kids are so very smart. A lot of questions about government. We talked to 2 classes. Mr. Toronto's civic class. We will have them in next year to attend the council meeting, but thank you for bringing me, President Martinez. It was I enjoyed it. Okay, next we'll move into our parish president's report, please.
I don't have anything. I'd just like to take this opportunity to introduce Mr. Scott Rabelais as our new public information officer. Scott's going to come aboard on June 8th, and recently won an award, the best sports story in Louisiana, by the Louisiana Press Association. So, Scott, I'd like you to come up and say a few words if you'd like.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez, and thank you to the council. It's not often that someone with a journalism background gets applauded, so that's nice. That's nice to hear. It's a new chapter for me in my career. I worked for 19 years at The Advocate, and then most recently for an ESPN affiliated website covering LSU. And so this is a new chapter for me in my career, and it's something exciting, and it's a very exciting time to be part of Ascension Parish, and I look forward to working with all of you and to helping to serve the people of this parish. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Welcome to our team.
That's all I have.
Okay, sir.
Chairman.
I'll move into item 7, consent agenda. Items A through O. I will need a motion, please.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Councilman Dennis Cohen, second by, Councilman Todd Lambert. Any discussion? Any objections? Motion carries. We'll move into our committee reports. We have Personnel Chairman Todd Lambert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We met with some interviews, and we got some recommendations on some boards. First, we're going to go with the board of residential contractors. We had 2 openings. The board recommended Mr. Roy Domain, Jr. To the board.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Benny Johnson, second by Councilman Chris Lohr. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Second was Mr. Rowan Getro to the same board, Board of Residential Contractors.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Next, we have the Mental Health Board. We had 1 opening, and Ms. Kathy Edmiston was
So
recommended.
moved, Chair. Moved by Councilman George Valentine, second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Also, on the West Ascension Hospital District Board, we had 2 reappointments. The first one was Mr. Glenn Robert.
So moved.
Councilman Dennis Cullen.
Second.
Second by Councilman Kent Shakespeare. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
And the second was Mr. Dr. Michael Hirsch.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Kent Shakespeare, second by Councilman Randy Kluart. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, that's the end of my report. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Councilman Lambert. Next, we'll move into general business. Number 9 is a resolution in support of the proposed location of the Santa Monica Fire Station located at the Diversion Canal. We are sending a resolution in support to help them with their permits.
So moved, Mr. Chairman. Second.
Moved by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Randy Kluart. Any discussion? Any objection? Resolution carries. Item 10, I will accept the recommendation from the Home Rule Charter Chairman, Mr. Milton Kluart, at this time. Councilman, you all have a packet in front of you with the Commission's recommendations, and we will meet on this at a later date. I'd like to say, Chairman Kluart, job well done. I know y'all were pulling your hair out for a year, and just got a lot of items to go over, and we will take it very seriously. We will go through each item and do our best. But we really appreciate y'all's service.
Mr. Chairman, Councilman, Past President, on behalf of the Home Rule Charter Commission members, we'd like to thank y'all for thinking enough of us and having enough confidence in us to fulfill that project. Thank y'all, gentlemen.
Okay, sir. Thank y'all. Item 11, we will pass. Plan and zoning recommendations. Mr. Ricky Compton, please.
Good evening, Council. I'd first like to introduce my new planner, Brian Martinez. Started about 2-3 weeks ago. He's going to come on board and help us with the master plan, and he's already got his knees deep in the development ordinance and making sure we're all up to date, and he's just going to be a tremendous asset to our department. So you'll be seeing Brian a lot.
I just want to say also to Martinez is not any kin to me. Well, anybody. Never. I do have a nephew named Brian Martinez, so I just want to clarify. Oh, anybody.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome, Brian.
Zoning Review ID 1991.09 to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from medium intensity residential RM to mixed use 2, MU2. Located on the northeast corner of Old Jefferson Highway and Henry Road for Larry and Diane Moran, to accept or deny. The Zoning Commission recommended approval of this item.
I need a motion, please.
Motion.
Councilman Lambert?
Let's go ahead with the motion.
Motion by Councilman Lambert. Second by Councilman Ken Shakespeare. Any discussion?
Yeah.
Councilman Lambert.
Ricky, I would like the decision from the administration on this. What was your recommendation on it from administration?
Right now, the recommendation is to deny this request. There's an outstanding issue with regards to right-of-way acquisition, and the Commission wasn't privy to those negotiations, and so right now the recommendation is to deny.
Make that motion.
Motion by Councilman Lambert.
Wait, we have a motion on the floor.
There's a motion. We have amended.
I would like to amend the motion.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I would like to substitute motion and to deny this at this point in time.
Second.
We have a substitute motion by Councilman Shakespeare to deny the motion at this time. Second by Councilman Cullen. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
The next item on the list is our zoning map revision, and as I'm sure you remember, we brought this to you about a month and a half or 2 months ago, and at the request of the council, we took it to public workshops. We met 13 public workshops around the parish, and what you'll see before you is the 9 items that were outstanding. These are the items that there was an issue brought up during the public workshops, and these were the ones that we brought up to the Zoning Commission for them to make a motion to accept or deny the revision. The maps that you were given reflect that decision. And so what I wanted to do was run through those real quick with you, because what I think we need is for you guys to accept or deny those decisions and then to accept or deny the map on a whole. And so I'm going to run through them real quick. The first item is the crematory located on LA Highway 431 and Black Bayou Road. And I'm going to zoom in here on my map. What this item was specifically at the corner, which I'm sure if you're familiar with, is the crematorium. They're building and adding on to it right now. We just missed it when we did our first run through. We went back We changed it back to Crossroads Commercial, and the commission, accepted that as a legitimate change to the map. The next item is the Pelican Point Commercial. And what that was we had changed the entrance commercial where they built that nice little strip center. We had changed it from residential medium to mixed use, which suits what they built out there. And the discussion was, is mixed use the right call? Should it be mixed use 2? Should it be Crossroads Commercial? So what we did is we analyzed their approved development plan. We looked at what they're able to build, and mixed use is what makes sense. What we had done is we had extended it one lot too far. Based on the existing development plan, the last lot in the run was not mixed use, so we converted that back to residential medium. And the commission, once again, went with that recommendation. The next item is Highway 73 in Dutchtown Crossing. I need to zoom out again. And Lester, if you can go to Brian's map on this one. This was a problem where our existing zoning map had SPUD, but it was too much. We had too much of the map drawn as SPUD. And so what we did is we made a recommendation to convert the corner right there at the edge to mixed use 2, and the commission went with that request as well. The next item is at Diaz Road and LA Highway 42. We had a citizen come to us at the public workshop and request that we convert his property right there at Diaz and 42 from residential medium to mixed use 2. We recognize that the properties at the intersection are Crossroads Commercial on the new map, and where Mom's Bar currently sits, we converted that to mixed use 2. We did not, as a staff or the council, feel that it made any sense to convert that to commercial, so that request was denied. We left it as residential medium. The next item is the Loosemore property, and that property was revised the last time they did a map revision, which I believe was in 2003. And the property was zoned conservation. When the map revision was made, the applicant requested, and it was converted from conservation to rural. Well, since that time, the property was never developed, and we received a petition during the public workshop. Multiple, 35, 45 signatures wanted it to be put back to conservation. The commission accepted that change and put the property back to conservation zoning. The next item is Laroki Park. That is at the intersection of Highway 73 and the interstate. And what it is on our existing map, it was mostly residential medium. There was some mixed use. There was some of the properties that were requested to be a certain zone, and so it wasn't exactly known what the zoning should be. We went in on the first map that you guys saw about 2 months ago and just converted it all to mixed use 2. We thought there'd be a neat little office park area. But as we went through and rode through and looked at each individual property, that didn't make a lot of sense. And so what we did is, when we went through the public workshops, we talked about what it should be. And Lester, come back to my map. We converted the stuff that was along the interstate where there's existing users back to mixed use. We converted the nice new office building right out on 73 back to mixed use, and we shortened up the mixed use 2, because what we found was we had extended our mixed use 2 all the way up here, hitting a lot of residential units that is never going to be commercial. So we shortened it up and we converted the back there to mixed use, and the commission went with that request as well. The next item is at LA Highway 44 and 621. And go over to the projector, Lester. That was a piece of property that on the existing zoning map, put the other plan up there, Brian. The existing zoning map, the Crossroads Commercial just is a corridor down 44, and the other one. And that property was a petition property. He had petitioned for it to be a commercial designation that didn't exist anymore, and so it was just as a brown color on the map. Since we were attempting to clean up the zoning map in this exercise, what we ended up doing, yeah, there it is. See, it's petition property, it's Crossroads Commercial on 44, and at the other side of 621, it's mixed use. What we did in this cleaning up process was just convert it back to Crossroads Commercial. So show the other map. It's now Crossroads commercial across 621 and mixed use on the other side. We've received some emails from the property owner. He's not happy with this decision. The commission went with our recommendation, but once again, this is one of those items that if the council does want to go the other way, I really don't have a problem with it because we were just trying to clean the map up, and to us, keeping Crossroads on one side of 621 and mixed use on the other is what made sense for us. The next item is the east side of LA Highway 73, and this is one of those items that came up in two different public workshops, albeit it was from the same person, but it was at two workshops. They wondered why we were just addressing mixed use 2 on the west side of Highway 73. And our comments are, zoom out a little bit, Ryan, our comments are, well, the properties on the west side of 73 back up to properties that front on Airline Highway. It's more likely that they could be sucked into those properties and become commercial than it is the properties on the east side. And so what I did is I highlighted those properties with a red line and I cross-hatched them and I said, if we were to convert the east side of 73 to commercial, we would have to convert all of that property to mixed use 2. I do not believe that Highway 73 can support that much commercial today. Sure, one day when it's 3 or 4 lanes, you probably can come back and look at that. This also addresses the property there at Henry Road and 73. Based on the recommendation tonight, that will go back to a RM designation with a little sliver of mixed use right at the frontage. And then the last item is 621 El Landry. This is one that the commission also agreed to put back the way we're showing because we just missed it. When we were driving around looking at some other properties, we realized that there's a little shopping center there it's commercial today. There's existing businesses. There's a nice new strip center, and we thought that it made sense to put that to mixed use. And so the commission went with that request, and that's also on the map.
The only question I have is LA 44 and 621. You got two convenience stores on one side. You got a bar room on the other side, and you got a closed down hardware store on the other side. So you're making one side one thing and another side the other thing? Something else?
It's still commercial. Okay. What we're doing by changing it from mixed use to Crossroads commercial is really only eliminating about 12 uses. You can't have adult businesses there now. If it's mixed use, you could do adult businesses. Exterminating, fumigating, septic tank pumping, and furnace cleaning. You could do that there if it's mixed use. You could have a kennel. You could have a truck stop. Light industrial facilities, dry cleaning plants, printing plants, warehouses, wholesale business and storage. All the other commercial uses are viable. You can still do them there. We've just reduced that. We've eliminated these uses by changing it from mixed use to Crossroads commercial.
Any more questions for Ricky? Councilman Johnson.
Ricky, so with that property at 44 and 621, those 12 items are the only thing that they can't develop there, is what you said?
Yes, sir.
Do we know what he has in mind to develop there? Has he come to y'all with anything?
No, sir.
Councilman Kluart.
Yeah, can you put a trailer park there?
I believe you can, if it's Crossroads or mixed use.
Okay.
They're doing it.
It's a question. Okay, any more questions? Ms. Lindsay, will these have to be voted on as an individual? Okay. Councilman, I'll need a motion for crematory located on Louisiana Highway 431 at Blackbire Road. I have a motion by Councilman Randy Kluart, second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Pelican Point Commercial.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Motion by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Kent Shakespeare. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. LA Highway 73 in Dutchtown Crossing.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Kent Shakespeare, second by Councilman George Valentine. Any discussion, any objection, motion carries. Diaz Road and LA Highway 42.
Motion, Mr.
Motion
Chairman.
by Councilman Todd Lambert. Second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Any discussion, any objection, motion carries. Loosemore property.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Moved by Councilman Todd Lambert. Second by Councilman
Second.
Chris Lohr. Any discussion, any objection, motion carries. La Roche Park.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Valentine.
Second.
Second by Councilman Cullen. Any discussion, any objection, motion carries. LA Highway 44 and Louisiana Highway 621.
So moved, Mr.
Moved
Chairman.
by Councilman Lambert.
Second.
Second by Councilman Cullen. Any discussion, any objection, motion carries. East side of LA Highway 73. Motion by Councilman Chris Lohr. Second by Councilman Kent Shakespeare. Any discussion, any objection, motion carries. And our LA Highway 621 and L. Landry Road. Moved by Councilman Valentine, second by Councilman Kent Shakespeare. Any objection, any discussion, motion carries.
And then one for the whole map.
Sir?
Just, I'd like to motion for the whole map, just so that the next time it
We have
comes.
a
Move to
motion by
accept the
Councilman
map as a
Kent
whole.
Shakespeare. We have a second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Any discussion, any objection, motion carries. Thank you, Ricky. Next, our introduction of ordinances. 14, Ms. Lindsay Manda, please.
Chairman, are you passing on item 14?
I'm sorry, we are. I guess I'm getting where I can't read. I got it marked big as a. We will pass on this one. Item 15, ma'am, introduction of an ordinance.
Introduction of an ordinance to amend the ordinance approving, adopting, and appropriating the 2009 operating and capital budgets for the Parish of Ascension, adopted by the Ascension Parish Council on the 20th day of November 2008.
Motion introduced.
Motion introduced by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance introduced.
Introduction of an ordinance to amend the ordinance approving right-of-way acquisitions for road widening projects to include approval of all property acquisitions valued more than $50,000 for all council-approved drainage, utility, and road improvement projects.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Benny Johnson.
Second.
Second by Councilman Chris Lohr. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance introduced. Next, we'll move into our public hearing ordinance section. Ms. Lindsay Mellon, number 17, please.
Purpose, to amend and supplement the Ascension Parish Development Code, Section 17202D6, entitled Off-Street Parking Standards, as follows. Whereas the Parish of Ascension has in effect a comprehensive plan of zoning, and pursuant to that plan, a parish-wide development code was adopted by the Ascension Parish Governing Authority, which became effective on June 1st, 1999. Whereas the Ascension Parish Development Code provides for a procedure for its amendment of the Development Code and related regulations and restrictions by initiation of the Parish Planning and Zoning Commission. Whereas the Parish Planning and Zoning Commission has initiated an amendment to supplement Section 17202, Off-Street Parking Standards of the Ascension Parish Development Code regarding all commercial projects. Now therefore be it ordained that Section 17202, Off-Street Parking Standards of the Ascension Parish Development Code, is supplemented and amended as follows. D. The following standards shall apply to the design of parking lots. All commercial projects shall demonstrate their interconnectivity to other commercial properties immediately adjacent. It is the intent to reduce traffic on thoroughfares by providing alternate routes through commercial property.
I need a motion to open public
Motion,
hearing,
Mr.
please.
Chairman.
Motion by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. At this time, if you want to speak on this item, you'll be allowed 3 minutes, signing with Ms. Suzanne.
Motion to close.
Motion closed by Councilman Todd Lambert, second by, I didn't see it, Councilman Dempsey Lambert. I need a motion for the ordinance, please.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Kent Shakespeare, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Any discussion, any objection? Ordinance passes. Okay, number 20, please, ma'am.
To amend and supplement the Ascension Parish Development Code, Section 17181, entitled Development Standards for Historic Site Overlay Zones, as follows. Whereas the Parish of Ascension has in effect a comprehensive plan of zoning, and pursuant to that plan, a parish-wide development code was adopted by the Ascension Parish Governing Authority, which became effective on June 1st, 1999. Whereas the Ascension Parish Development Code provides for a procedure for its amendment of the Development Code and related regulations and restrictions by initiation of the Parish Planning and Zoning Commission. Whereas the Parish Planning and Zoning Commission has initiated an amendment to supplement Section 17-181 A through E. Now therefore be it ordained that Section 17-181 A through E development standards for historic site overlay zones is supplemented and amended as follows. Definition. Applicant. Applicant shall mean the owner of the subject property, developer, or adjacent subject to a fully executed agent's authorization form submitted in its approved form to the Ascension Parish Planning and Development Department. Historic site. A historic site is defined as a district, structure, building, or site which is listed on the National Register of Historic Places and not classified as destroyed. Historic site overlay zone. A historic site overlay zone shall consist of the historic site along with the immovable property to which it is attached and extending outward from those property boundary lines 500 feet. Development standards. No industrial uses shall be allowed within the property boundary lines of the historical site. Limited commercial uses shall be allowed on the historic site to the extent that the commercial uses are compatible with the historic site, do not hinder the integrity of the site, and meet the following criteria. Historic sites shall be open to the general public a minimum of 240 days in each calendar year. Uses shall be limited to the following. General retail, provided, however, that the sale of gasoline or other automotive services shall not be permitted. Restaurant, reception hall, meeting hall or conference center, hotel, motel, or bed and breakfast not exceeding 100 rooms, exhibit hall, museum. Development standards. Floor to area ratio shall not exceed 30.35. Parking. For all general retail, meeting hall, or conference centers, a minimum of one parking for every 250 square feet of gross square footage shall be provided. And for all restaurant, dining hall, or areas designated as a dining area open to the public, a minimum of one parking space for every 3.5 seats or occupancy, and one space for any 150 square footage of kitchen or other food preparation area. In the event the same square footage serves as meeting hall, conference center, and dining area, the more stringent of the parking requirements shall apply. Outdoor spaces used for similar uses shall be included in establishing the overall parking requirements for the historic site. A minimum 1 and a maximum of 3 bus parking spaces shall be included in the overall parking requirements at the discretion of the Planning Commission. Parking requirements are cumulative. However, same square footage shall only be included in the calculations using the most stringent requirements. Parking area landscaping shall comply with Section 17-11. A parking study prepared by a professional engineer licensed to practice in the state of Louisiana may be used, subject to approval by the Zoning Commission, to establish the total required parking. Buffering, landscaping. A site plan shall be submitted and reviewed by the Planning Commission. Extending from the property boundary line outward 250 feet, any use permitted in the underlying zoning district shall be permitted in this section of the historic site overlay zone, except for those similar to industrial, manufacturing, and waste-related activities, natural gas or fuel-related control, monitor or distribution activities, mass storage, travel or movement activities, similar activities as deemed in the discussion of the Commission except healthcare and medical facilities. Buffering requirements as provided for herein shall be adhered to. From 250 to 500 feet beyond the boundary lines, any use permitted in the underlying zoning district shall be allowed, subject to the buffering requirements provided herein. This ordinance does not extend to buildings or land which fail to conform to the uses set forth in this chapter on the date of enactment of this ordinance. The lawful use of any building or land existing as of the date of enactment of this ordinance may be continued, although such use does not conform with the provisions of this ordinance, provided that no non-conforming use shall be extended to displace a conforming use. A building that contains a non-conforming use may not be reconstructed or structurally altered in excess of 50% of the assessed value of the building prior to the construction, unless the building is changed to a conforming use approved by the Zoning Commission. A non-conforming land use may be expanded by no more than 50% of the original non-conforming site. Any non-conforming structure declared unsafe by an agent of the parish may be restored to a safe condition. Once changed to a conforming use, no building or land shall be permitted to revert to a non-conforming use. Whenever a building or land used in a whole or in part for non-conforming use becomes and remains vacant for a continuous period of 180 days, or whenever the commercial operations carried on in such a building or on such land have been discontinued for a period of more than 180 days, the subsequent use of the property must conform to the provisions of this ordinance. An abandoned non-conforming use may be reestablished within 90 days after the 180th day of the abandonment upon a showing that the continuation of a conditional non-conforming use would not adversely affect the health, safety, or welfare of the public, and is in substantial compliance with existing or permitted uses of adjacent properties. This section shall apply to any non-conforming uses which may arise whenever the boundaries of a district are altered. Any development proposed within the historic site overlay zone shall be reviewed at a pre-development meeting to be held before the Zoning Commission. The applicant shall submit a complete application together with all required documents and other necessary information to clearly communicate and inform the Commission all intentions for development, including but not exclusively architectural schemes, landscaping, projected volume of business, and any other relevant information that the Commission may request. Attend a pre-hearing meeting with staff to review the application, submitted documents, and proposal in detail. Developer, owner, or authorized agent shall provide any additional documentation or support information as it may be deemed necessary by the Ascension Parish Development Director. Attend a public hearing before the Zoning Commission. The Zoning Commission may approve subject to conditions of approval, deny, or postpone the application, except, however, the Zoning Commission may only postpone taking action on the subject application only one time for a period to be specified in its motion to postpone. Additional postponements may only be granted at the applicant's request. Notice of pre-development meeting shall be given to all adjacent landowners via certified mail at least 5 days prior to the meeting. Said meeting shall be held during regularly scheduled Zoning Commission meetings except for good cause shown, at which time a special meeting shall be called subject to the same notice requirements. The purpose of the pre-development meeting is to ensure compliance with all applicable portions of the Ascension Parish Development and Zoning Codes, ensure uses within the historic sites are compatible with the site and surrounding area, ensure the development is consistent with the goals, objectives, and policies of the Ascension Parish Codes and purpose and intent of these provisions, and place the public on notice of any development in or near historic sites. By doing so, the Parish of Ascension protects the integrity of the site and furthers the preservation of these historic sites. Buffering requirements. Uses allowed under this section within 500 feet of the property boundary lines of all sites shall provide for a buffer between the use and the property lines. Buffering shall consist of landscaping and or fencing consistent with the architecture of the historic site. All buffering shall be subject to the approval of the Zoning Commission. Architectural standards. Architecture shall be consistent with the style or period of the historical site.
Motion to open public hearing, please. Motion by Councilman Kluart. Second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Anyone wish to speak on this item, please come forward. Sign in with Ms. Suzanne. You'll be allowed 3 minutes.
Motion to close.
Motion closed by Councilman Chris Lowe, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. I'll need a motion for the ordinance.
Move the ordinance.
Move the ordinance by Councilman Kent Shakespeare, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. Number 23, please, ma'am.
Purpose. In accordance and compliance with the Ascension Parish Charter, including but not limited to Section 601 thereof, and in compliance with state law, to do the following. Number 1, exercise the option of purchase contained in that agreement entitled Property Lease Agreement and Option to Purchase, filed by the Ascension Parish Clerk of Court as instrument number 006-08801 on June 20th, 2005, hereinafter the agreement, and to authorize the purchase of and to purchase the immovable property described in the agreement, which property is commonly known as the Lamar Dixon property, and further to authorize related matters as herein provided. Whereas the Parish of Ascension and the Lamar Dixon Expo Center and Lamar Dixon Expo Foundation entered into the agreement entitled Property Lease Agreement and Option to Purchase, filed on June 20th, 2005, and instrument number 006-08801 by the Ascension Parish Clerk of Court. Whereas the agreement contains an option to purchase certain described immovable property, whereas the agreement will expire on June 30th, 2009 if not timely exercised, whereas the Parish of Ascension desires to exercise the option and to purchase the property pursuant to the terms contained in the agreement, be it ordained by the Ascension Parish Council that the Parish does hereby exercise the option to purchase contained in the agreement based on the terms and conditions contained in the agreement. Notice of the exercise of the option to purchase is to be timely provided by the Parish President or the Parish Administrative Staff to the Lamar Dixon Expo Center, LLC, and Lamar Dixon Expo Foundation. The Parish agrees to purchase the immovable property described in the Exhibit A attached hereto and made a part hereof. The Parish hereby agrees to purchase any and all other movable property permitted to be purchased in the agreement. The Parish shall purchase the property for the full and true sum of $7,500,000 on the payment schedule or basis provided in Section 47C IIB at page 20 of the agreement. The Parish authorizes the Parish President to execute any and all documents required to complete the act of sale of the property. In the event that the Parish President deems it appropriate advisable, or necessary, the parish president is authorized to acquire a title insurance policy to protect the parish ownership interest in the property.
Need a motion. Motion to open by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Second by Councilman Randy Clark. I do have 3 speakers signed in. Anyone else want to speak on this item? Please come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Our first speaker is Mr. Alan Herring.
Mr. Chairman, members of the council, my name is Alan Herring. I reside in District 11, and I oppose this ordinance, or this proposition. I have a few items issues as to why. This issue was voted on in November 4th of 2008. It was the proposition that was placed on the ballot clearly stated in 3 different places that it was to provide funds to the parish to be used entirely and exclusively to acquire, improve, and expand the facility. It says that, and in a further place down here it says it once again, provide funds to the parish to be used entirely and exclusively to acquire. Acquire means to purchase. It means to purchase this property for the parish. And in the last part it says the tax will be used to fund bonds for the purchase of acquiring the property. Mr. Martinez stated in 2008 that he would not renew a year-end the lease purchase agreement with Lamar Dixon Foundation if the tax failed. I take it to mean, well, let's put it this way. Not renewing the lease purchase agreement didn't specifically say I wouldn't try to buy it. He also stated, and I quote, "We have got to do something about this one way or the other because we can't keep going on the way it is right now. We want the people to decide." I think the people decided when they voted this 59.4% against and 40.6% for. I think they decided that we did not want the parish to purchase this property. The next issue I have with it is funding. The funding on it is questionable, in my opinion. You state in the ordinance, or in a number of different funding sources for the purchase of this property. None of them are recurring funds. They're all one-time funds. And then also there's a pledge of $1 million from private individuals to cover the initial operating expenses. I have 2 issues with that. One, who are the private individuals? If they feel that this is a viable property, come forward and buy it. Buy the whole thing. That's one issue with it. The other is who's going to pay for it after the initial funds are gone. This facility has never supported itself. I feel it will never support itself. Most venues of this type are not self-sufficient. They have to be supported with taxpayer dollars. And that means the citizens of Ascension Parish will have to support it. I have another issue with the mission statement. Ms. Dixon stated there's always wiggle room. There's always a way to work with it if you're willing to make concessions. I'm sure there's a way. That sounds like kind of like the federal government with the stimulus package. Let's jam it through as fast as we can, and we'll decide what to do with it later.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker is Mr. Doug Hillensbeck, please.
I got one other comment.
No, sir.
Please don't make
Your 3 minutes are up, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the council, Mr. President. Doug Hillensbeck, I live in District 7 on Cully Broussard Road in Prairieville. I'd like to state I applaud the action of the purchase of Lamar Dixon and would like to thank everyone involved that's making this happen. This is a tough economy, but I think in time this will prove out to be the right decision, and it's going to benefit Ascension Parish for many years. Recently it was reported in the papers that under the Dixons they were losing $1 million a year. Under parish government and S&G, the professional management company, we've lost $2 million or $500,000 a year. They've cut the losses in half. Now, what was never reported in the paper is how many bookings of events were lost in not the present year, but the future years, because people from all over the country wanting to rent the facility, book the facility for an event. And but the people at SMG had to tell them, well, we can't guarantee you that the Lamar Dixon is going to be open next year when you want your event to happen. So I just want you to know that there has been millions of dollars of revenue lost there, and it's my feeling, having talked to SMG, that it probably would have been a break-even situation, and there would have been no money lost over the 4-year period if we had already bought it. And if it had been guaranteed from year to year that it was going to remain open. Most of all, I want to thank Bill and Mary Lee Dixon because for not giving up on Ascension Parish, and thank them for this gift. Because at $7.5 million, this is a gift. If they spent well over $50 million building it back in '95, and if you were to build it today, it'd cost you $100 million. And I was raised, don't look at a gift horse in the mouth, and again, this is a gift, and I thank Bill and Mary Lee and everyone involved for making this happen. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Next, I'll have Mr. Nicky Prejean.
Wow. That's the first time me and Mr. Hillenbeck agreed on anything. I'm so proud. I'm very honored to be here, of course, but I don't know if I ever got to tell you, but I'm very, very pleased with our council and our parish president. 14 years ago, when we started talking about council form of government, I just didn't really, I voted for the old police jury system. And finally, in the last year and a half, I started respecting and got tremendous amount of honor and loyalty out of all of you. I know we all represent different walks of people, different parts of the parish and the community, but all of you individually, I have the utmost respect for. An announcement I wanted to make, you all's OEP director, Ricky Weber, I didn't think he was going to be here, but he walked in, but he just got elected 2 weeks ago to the Louisiana Emergency Preparedness Board of Directors. Ricky, as you well know, for the parish does an outstanding job, and now he's recognized. He got elected by the state, all of the membership of Louisiana Emergency Preparedness statewide. He's elected to the board of directors. I too, like former Councilman Hillenbeck, are very pleased that you all are entertaining the idea to possibly acquire Lamar Dixon. As you know, I've served on that board of directors for 9 years. I, along with 5 or 6 parish dignitaries 12 years ago, talked Ms. Dixon into building that facility. I didn't know she had so much money. However, it started out as a $500,000 project, and it was going to be built with free labor. It went from $500,000 to $5 million to $12 million to $20 million to $35 million to $50 million, and then at the end, $58 million. Served on the board of directors like many public facilities, roads, bridges, parks, civic centers. You have to share some of the expense. Or, much like Louisiana Regional Airport, which I chair the airport authority, we operate completely on self-generated funds. There's 146 based aircraft there. 22 years ago, the adversaries said, the people voted down the airport. Why bring it back up? Well, man, I can tell you, they got a lot of people are real proud that we brought it back up. And I committed to operate that sucker with self-generated funds, and we just completed a $300,000 terminal building, and the parking facilities, thanks to the parish government. I'm going to backtrack a little bit, but in the little building that we donated, we couldn't donate it. Legal counsel said you had to do in-kind service. Barry Smalley did an excellent job with the parking lot.
Nicky, I'm going to ask you to hurry it up. I know you have a presentation to the parish president, so hurry it up.
Anyway, I certainly appreciate the opportunity to talk here. I'm one of the people that I've committed the whole $1 million that I was going to raise to Parish President Tommy Martinez. I don't have all of it yet, but I'm good for 100,000 of it. And I certainly want to be a part of the organization should it get purchased a part of the organization to operate the thing, because I have some unique and good ideas to make it kind of self-supporting, and I think it would be a great work, job, training center, along with the question the LSU Ag Center. Thank you.
Okay, sir, thank you. I need a motion to close public hearing, please. Motion by Councilman Thompson, second by Councilman Kluwart. I'll need a motion to move the ordinance.
Motion.
Councilman Adrian Thompson makes the motion, second by Councilman Randy Kluwart. Any discussion? Councilman Todd Lambert.
Yeah, Mr. Cedric, Grant, you and I talked, I guess, several months ago, or several weeks back on the operating of Lamar Dixon. I think Mr. Parish President and I talked also on it that we were looking at a hotel tax increase, which we could do because it's available. And all the hotels were in favor of this. That's my concern as far as the operating of the facility. You know, we have the money to buy it, that's fine. It's not coming out of parish funds. But we still need to operate it. And I know Mr. Nickey, we appreciate what he's, you know, with the private donations, but that's going to be good for maybe a year or two. So what is our plan before I make my decision, I guess? What is our plan as far as operating this thing? Where are we going to get the funds? What is the city of Gonzales? We heard the city of Gonzales was going to participate, but I haven't heard any numbers or, you know, what's the latest on it? Maybe you can enlighten us on that.
Councilman, we do believe that the hotel-motel option is a viable one, but it needs to be pursued. What I'm in the process of doing right now is reviewing the finances and the operational costs of Lamar Dixon as it is currently, and what that the existing revenue stream is in support of how we would do it on a right now basis, as opposed to how we need to do it 2 years from now, because I do believe that there will probably be some revenue needs that will arise, and I think personally that the hotel motel offers the greatest option. I'm also convinced that at some point in this process we need to begin to look at Lamar Dixon as what you would look in governmental accounting as an enterprise, an enterprise fund, which basically we would create a package where the revenue generated by the facility would be sufficient to support the facility. So therefore, those things that would not be self-generating and self-supporting, we would take a different view of, okay, as opposed to beginning to putting a drain on the general fund. So I'm starting my financial planning as it being an enterprise, okay, which is a separate type of accounting that we do in the financial system for public finance, that there will be a separate enterprise for Lamar Dixon, similar to what Mr. Pritchard just told you about the airport. So it's a little early for me to tell you definitively that, but certainly I think that every revenue source that that's possible should be pursued, and I am of a mind that, as we've discussed, the hotel motel offers the greatest option.
Yeah.
For long term.
Like everybody said, you know, the parish has, you know, denied the tax. So, you know, if it comes down the road where what we think is going to work and it doesn't work, we're going to have to go back to the people for funding, and it's going to be a hard thing to do. So it's one of the big questions that's laid out there on the table.
Any more discussion, Councilman? Councilman MC Lambert, please. Councilman.
Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I see Mr. Eddie Crawford out in the audience. I want to also thank, we put together the Lamar Dixon Committee, and I think things are going to work, real well, getting the transition. There was a few items that we were looking at as the items been taken care of that we've been addressing.
There's been a lot of progress on it. Mr. Valentine had asked a question about taking inventory. We are doing that also. We have a list that we're going over, and yes, there's significant progress. There's a lot of people out there working, and I think most of the issues will be addressed by June 30th. And if not, we will bring them back to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Parish President, please.
I just want to say, I want to thank everybody involved. I want to thank the legislators that came forward. We are still, again, Todd, talking to Mayor Arsenault. I met with him this week. I think we're going to have some follow-up discussion with him and some of the council. So, that's ongoing. If you look at the finances for Lamar Dixon, if you look at this year particularly, we're going to be close, okay, to where we need to be. I'm of the same opinion as Cedric. I think that we can operate Lamar Dixon at a break-even or maybe a little better pace, and also work out a lot of the maintenance problems that cost a lot of the upkeep. And working with the sheriff's office, we've talked to him. We can get 8 prisoners out there for $60,000 a year that can maintain the facility year-round. I mean, I don't know, Mr. Crawford and them right now have to hire 8 or 9 people to do such things. There's ways to cut costs there that we can actually do. We're looking at recreational facilities that we do have there. We got a pond fishing. We got 110 undeveloped acres that we can look at. As I said before, you got scouting. We as parish government, I hear all this, but we don't make money. The school board doesn't make money. They build schools and they provide education to our kids. We build roads. We spent $4.5 million building a road. Joseph area, we got about, how many miles is that? And we'll have to go back and fix it. I don't think we'll ever get to the point where we'll lose that much money again at Lamar Dixon because of the stability. But again, we will be able to offer other things there. We got the Y building now that we can offer a lot of recreational opportunities. A beautiful building. It's a big building. Graduation. Just this past week we had 2 graduations there, East Ascension and Santa Monica. Hopefully we can get Dutchtown there in the future. Climatize the place. You will see that once you climatize it, you will be able to bring a lot more events there. So again, with the Lamar Dixon committee and coming up with ideas, I just think it's going to be a win-win situation. And the people that I talked to, a lot of people, they wasn't voting against Lamar Dixon. They were voting against the tax, and I don't blame them. But I think that the facility in time is going to be something that you're going to be proud of, your grandkids are going to be proud of, and have somewhere to go and to do things. And that's the whole point in it. But we will work it out. We will come to you with an operational plan. I'm totally confident that this thing is going to work out. And there's other things that we need to talk about down the road as other options also. So that you're going to be hearing soon.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Any more discussion, Councilman? Any objection? I'm sorry, Councilman Valentine.
Thank you, Chairman. First, let me commend Mr. Morton as parish president. You did, as far as I'm concerned, you did an excellent job on continuing to pursue. Some people think you might not should have done that. I'm one of them. When you got elected, you said you was going to put it for the people, and they'd vote, and they would just have the decision, and they made the decision. I've been in parish office for 22 years, I guess, and maybe Mr. Prejean may have accused me, but there has not been a property tax fail in Ascension Parish for 20 years. Not even come close to failing. I've been a part of several on the school board. But this one failed. And I'm not naive to Tommy, you're right. I'm not naive enough to think that a lot of people voted against the tax. But then a lot of people voted against Lamar Dixon because they didn't want the parish to own it. They didn't want a money pit to be sitting out there or something that had to be propped up every turn around. They got people on this council, council members that have different opinions. We fought over this for 4 years. Looks like we're going to continue to fight over it because it's still going to be here. It's still going to be here because it's always going to be a question how we're going to operate. 3 years from now, some of us may not be up here. Different administration may be different soon. But they're still going to have the Lamar Dixon problem sitting there. There have been viable people that have come to Lamar Dixon Foundation and come to the parish that wanted to purchase it. two of them I'm intimately involved in because I set them up to try and get interviews with people to do it. Both of them, we're going to keep the equestrian part of it open and utilize the other parts essentially to bring tax money to the parish. Because if you'd have done that, you'd have been able to tax the facility itself. Tommy made the statement, and I hope you're right. The parish could exercise the right to purchase Lamar Dixon under the terms of the lease with Miss Mary Lee, and not to have any sort of taxes or stipulations in the bargain. And I think from Mr. Diaz's comments a while back that we won't have any stipulations, or Miss Lindsay's comments. I'm not sure that the lease as it reads gives us a lot of latitude, as long as we stick close to the mission statement, which even Miss Mary Lee said has wiggle room. So that's a possibility. The money we're getting, as I remind the public, is coming from Louisiana Recovery Authority, $4.5 million, as I understand it. Ascension Parish is pegged for $18 million. Where would that $4.5 million go if it doesn't go to Lamar Dixon? I don't know. I don't know exactly where the other money that's allotted to the parish would go. Our legislative delegation promised $2 million. Senator Amadei, Representative Lambert, Representative Mert Smiley. I saw a note. In fact, I asked the parish president. I'm not sure he remembers me asking him, but I saw where the governor signed, or they tacked on the bill, $400,000 for Lamar Dixon out of capital outlay. When the legislative delegation was here, they said that the money would be coming from funds that they received over a yearly basis, which generally goes to roads and fire departments. That's not my statement. That was their statement. So essentially, we're doing that. Miss Mary Landrew, who promised us $10 million 4.5 years ago, now says she's going to give us $750,000. I hope she comes through with it. Senator David Vitta, I think, is the only one that said he'd give $250, and we do have that, right, Parish President? That is the money we have that we're going to use to exercise the option. Mayor Arsenault, and I said many times from this podium, the city of Gonzales should pay their fair share because they reap the benefits of Lamar Dixon. Tanger Mall, hotels, restaurants, all in the city of Gonzales. They're not in the parish. They have to drive to Dutchtown before they get a gas station that they can get, that we get tax off of, okay? Everything is in the city of Gonzales or the city of Sorrento. So they should, in fact, what they should do is deal with the operational. They should pledge something every year for operations, and I think the parish president is working on that, and I appreciate that. The problem I had, and the gentleman stated earlier, is 24,898 people voted against Lamar Dixon. And a lot of them have called me over the past few weeks and said, what happened to our voice? We spoke. One of them even said, we're getting like California. We vote something down, and then we figure out a way to go around the public opinion. And you know what? We're about there. And for those 24,898 people, I just won't be able to support the purchase of Lamar Dixon. I know it's a great facility. I have nothing against the facility. I hope Mr. Nickey's right. I hope we're able to continue, that this continues to thrive, and that one day we won't have to come back to the people and say, we need an operating tax. I hope we don't. I hope it doesn't come out the general budget. So I'm going to trust the parish president for that. Thank you.
Anybody else? Before we move on, I'd like to make a few.
Yeah, this is just
I'm through, Councilman Thompson.
Oh, okay.
All right. Go ahead.
I support Lamar Dixon, the quality of life. We have recreation. We don't make money off recreation. We have kids that ride horses, that show 4-H animals, and does stuff like that. They don't have a place to do that. Lamar Dixon is a place, and it's the quality of life. And I think that the kids that show 4-H, the kids that ride horses, they deserve a place to go and enjoy. And I think that the parish should own the facility because we don't make money off parks. We lose money. and it's just back to the quality of life. Thank you.
Okay, sir, thank you. Before we go on with our voting procedure, I'd like to make a small statement. I am in favor of Lamar Dixon. I've seen it for years. I saw the work that went into us acquiring it. I thank our legislators in Washington and the state of Louisiana for going overboard for us. I thank Mr. Nicky Prezone. I thank the honest people that know what's out there. This should be on CNN and Fox News. When you can buy something for $7.5 million that's appraised at $60 million, I don't need to be a rocket scientist to see that. I thank our legal. President Martinez, I've watched you for 4 months. Work this, work it, plead, beg. Sir, I appreciate you. I thank you very much for your efforts. And I think good times are ahead. We'll have stability. We'll fill it up. I thank you, sir. Councilman Shakespeare.
Yes. We're looking at bottom line here. We lost, Ascension Parish spent $1.4 million this past year on recreation, coming out of the general fund. Money could be going to roads, could be going to anything else. But we choose as a parish government to spend it on recreation. We increase that cost tonight when we approve, or we're going to send to the council next week another request for another park for our kids and for our people here that extend the quality of life to here. And we're not going to make any money on that. We're going to spend more money. We're telling you that now. And these are decisions that we have to weigh, whether we're spending public money that we think for the good or for the bad of the people of the parish. And I think it's something that's for the good of the parish, and it gets people to come here because Lord knows people are coming. They like what's happening in Ascension Parish. They like who's here. And it makes things better. And I think Lamar Dixon does that also. I think it's, as I travel throughout the state, and I introduce myself and I tell them that I'm a councilman in Ascension Parish, one of the first things I hear overwhelmingly, you are so lucky. I've been to Lamar Dixon, and I can't believe it that you haven't bought that facility yet. And he said, we would sure love to have it in our parish. If you decide to give it up, please give it to us. I also spoke to a number of people after the election, and I was prepared to end the day, as far as I'm concerned, the people that had spoken. But as you got into the community and really started to find out what happened in the election, I was overwhelmed with the sense of people that said, look, we had nothing against Lamar Dixon. They were just at the wrong time for a tax. You know, I had property taxes, I had bad economy, we were scared, we were worried, and we did not want to support the tax. So as I got to thinking about that, and more people started talking about, we really want to do what we can to try to save Lamar Dixon. And I think President Martinez also got that voice. He heard people speak in that election. They did not want a tax to pay for Lamar Dixon. That's what they were saying. That's what I got back. And he went out, and yes, he was creative, thank God. He went out and found the funding in different sources, and most of those funding would go for other things if we did not come out and grab our fair share of taxes. And so the spirit of cooperation that you saw for this endeavor from the federal government, the state government, the local government, and municipalities, the different organizations around here is overwhelming. And I want to beg to differ about it being bad politics and bad government. I think it was overwhelmingly good politics and good government. And I appreciate everybody was involved. I know Mr. Martinez over and over and over again, as Bell had said, pleaded with people to try to come up with funds. He said because the people of Ascension Parish deserve the opportunity to use this. And he was able to persuade people, find the monies. Mr. Grant did a great job, and everybody else in the administration. And I also had calls from other vendors throughout the state that was looking forward to dealing with Lamar Dixon in the future because they wanted to do business after it was bought. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm curious to see what's going to happen in 10 years. Do we know what's going to happen? No. We don't know what's going to happen in the new Lowry Park. How are we going to put playground equipment there? How are we going to manage that? And that's on a smaller scale. That's what we're doing here. And I think
people of Ascension Parish administration are going to make good decisions. The good people that's involved are going to make good decisions, and we're going to move forward, and we're going to have a showcase for the parish and for the state. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm very proud of it, and I'll back it fully. So I hope we move forward.
Councilman Clewart.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that within my district, I've got an overwhelming response of people in support of Lamar Dixon. What we have there is, for people that said they never used it or something, I hope that you actually go out there, people in the public, go out there and try to use it in some capacity. We have a keynote event there that we've been gracious enough to host that is waiting in the wings right now, which is our state livestock show, and the other associated events that go along with that. If you may be a car buff, you could be a cattle buff, or whatever it is. If you don't know how prestigious and how great it is you wouldn't have the appreciation for Lamar Dixon if you knew how this event was. And this is a very, very good honor for Ascension Parish to have this event. And I think a positive vote tonight will get us locked in with that event to continue on. And I just think it's a great facility. I'm 50-something years old. I've been all over the South in other arenas. There's none any much better. I'm gonna be honest with you. We can use this facility for a large number of things. A lot of untapped resources out there. And I know people voted a tax down, but I don't think they voted Lamar Dixon down. I'm very much in support of Lamar Dixon.
Councilman Joseph.
First of all, I want to compliment, and I don't do that that often to the parish president. He know that. But I want to compliment him for the hard work he did. I've been on this council 3 years now, and when I first got here, Lamar Dixon was a argument among us. We sitting here today, and we discussing it, really discussing it, not arguing about it, discussing it. And I want to give the parish president that compliment right there, because you have put us in a position where we can discuss this issue, because you gave us options, more options than we had before. And, like I tell everybody, it's free money. Who's going to turn down free money? And I'm very much in support of Lamar Dixon, and I want to commend the parish president and his staff for going out their way to get these, like Councilman Ken Chase said, monies for the Lamar Dixon, and I hope we be successful with it. I know a lot of people in my side of the river that do a lot of stuff over in Lamar Dixon with their animals, 4-H and everything. So, and I know they support it. So I'm in very much favor and supporting Lamar Dixon.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Dennis Cullen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also support Lamar Dixon. I do represent a large part of the city of Gonzales, and I talked to Mayor Arsenault tonight, and we are going to be having some discussions with some of his councilmen and try to work out some options with Parish President. Had met with him earlier, and he filled me in on all that, so I'll be willing to sit in on all those meetings with you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Anybody?
Yeah.
Councilman Clewart.
Yeah, one more statement. This is Lamar Dixon. Tomorrow will be another thing, but I just want to let you know that this council, and that's all 11 of us, even when we disagree on something, we have a dedication to serve the people of this parish and try to work things out. And we have a dedication to work with the administration that was elected and the professionals that they hire within that administration. And we want to thank y'all for your patience in letting us work this out.
Okay, sir. Anybody else? Any objection? Object. Yeah, one objection. Roll call, please, ma'am.
Councilman Fulott.
Yes.
Councilman Cullen.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Joseph,
Yes.
Councilman Dixie Lambert,
Yes.
Councilman Todd Lambert,
Yes.
Councilman Laura,
Yes.
Councilman Shake Snyder,
Yes.
Councilman Thompson,
Yes.
Councilman Valentine.
No. Okay, ma'am. Ordinance is adopted. Move to item 26. Item 26, Ms. Mandler.
Purpose, to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map by rezoning a certain parcel of land from medium-intensity residential to small planned unit development. Whereas the Parish of Ascension has in effect a comprehensive plan of zoning, pursuant to that plan, a parish-wide development code was adopted by the Ascension Parish Governing Authority, which became effective on June 1st, 1999. Whereas the Ascension Parish Development Code provides for a procedure for its amendment to allow the rezoning of property to a different classification. Whereas the here and below described property properties located as such that rezoning of property is in conformity with adjacent land uses, in conformity with the general land use plan of the parish, not injurious to adjacent properties, and fully meets the qualifications for rezoning set forth under Louisiana law. Be it ordained that the following described property be rezoned from medium-intensity residential to small plane unit development. Zoning Review ID 1976.09, the back 40 for JRP Construction. Tract B2B1, a certain tract or parcel of land containing 13.838 acres, being tract B2B1 and being more particularly described on a map entitled Simple Division of Tracts B2A1 and B2B of the Quaid property into B2A1A and B2B1, located in Section 5, Township 9 South, Range 3 East, Ascension Parish, Louisiana, for JRP Construction, LLC, made by Lester A. McLean, Jr., PLS, and dated September 16, 2008, as follows. Commencing at the northeast corner of Section 5, Township 9 South, Range 3 East, thence proceed in a southerly direction a distance of 3,420 feet to a point, thence proceed north 89 degrees 48 minutes 26 seconds west, a distance of 1,047.17 feet to a point. Thence proceed south 21 degrees 46 minutes 27 seconds west, a distance of 47.74 feet to a point. Thence proceed south 16 degrees 21 minutes 46 seconds west, a distance of 113.09 feet to a point. Thence proceed south 30 degrees 25 minutes 45 seconds west, a distance of 116.52 to the point of beginning. Now therefore be it ordained that the land use map of the Ascension Parish Development Code be amended to reflect these rezonings, and that the Office of Planning and Zoning be authorized to make such changes.
Motion to open public hearing, please. Motion by Councilman Cullen, second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Anyone wish to speak on this item, please come forward and sign in. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Motion to close by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Randy Cluard. I need a motion to move the ordinance. Motion by Councilman Cullen. I need a second by Councilman George Valentine. Do you have any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. I'll need a roll call. Item 29, executive session.
Move to go in executive session, Sacrizaire and Associates claims a breach of contract, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion by Councilman Valentine, second by Councilman Cluard. Roll call, please, ma'am.
Councilman Gould,
Yes.
Councilman Cullen,
Yes.
Councilman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Joseph,
Yes.
Councilman Dixie Lambert,
Yes.
Councilman Todd Lambert,
Yes.
Councilman Laura,
Yes.
Councilman Shake Snyder,
Yes.
Councilman Thompson,
Yes.
Councilman Valentine.
Yes. Move to come back into general session.
We have a motion to come back in by Councilman Valentine. We have a second by Councilman Todd Lambert.
Motion, Mr. Chairman, to let our legal counsel, discuss the claim on this.
We have a motion by Councilman Dempsey Lambert, second by Councilman Adrian Thompson. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Councilman Todd Lambert. Motion to adjourn.